Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
What I believe I'm about to show you is proof that the courts are on our side in this case, and they are really doing the best they can to take a stand against the SEC. It is very likely they can blatantly see the corruption going on at the agency right now, and I believe some of the rulings I'm about to show you in this video are going to make it very obvious for you guys that the court is going to have our back in this case. At the end of the video, I'm actually going to break this down with a very, very easy to understand diagram, and I think that's really going to bring it full circle for you guys and really help you to understand what we're facing right now and what the court has done thus far to help us get to a point where Ripple will be able to defeat the SEC and the XRP holder will be freed from this lawsuit. It really starts right here though, and it's centered around one issue, and that is whether William Hinman's personal opinion was his own or guided by the SEC. John Deaton has been breaking this down for a while, and I think it took us all a long time to fully understand what the court's strategic goal was by making these rulings. I'm going to break it all down for you right here and even show you a clip of John Deaton explaining it, but then we're really going to dive into it and analyze what all the parties were thinking and what is really going on here behind the scenes. So it starts right here with John Deaton responding to one of my replies, and he says the SEC's motion for reconsideration has caused enormous confusion. The SEC is still claiming that Hinman's speech was his personal opinion. That hasn't changed. The SEC is not asking her to reconsider her finding that this fact is settled. The SEC is arguing that although it was Hinman's personal opinion, he received input or guidance from other SEC staff, and because of that, it is all protected by DPP. The SEC argues that the law protects his internal communications, even though it didn't result in an SEC decision. So I understand this is probably kind of complex to take in all at once, but we're going to go over it a couple times here, and what you need to know from that reading is simply that the SEC wants it both ways. The court told the SEC essentially, if this is Hinman's opinion, you need to hand over the Ethereum documents. The SEC argued it was Hinman's personal opinion, and then they're saying now, well, that's okay, but we still don't want to hand over the documents. The SEC is trying to have it both ways, and let me have John explain it to you another way, because I think this is going to show you that despite the fact that the SEC is trying to do this, their lying, manipulation, and deception, like I just showed you, is actually getting them into a lot of trouble in ways that were probably unforeseen before they tried to go down this path of lying to the court. Let me show you this clip by John Deaton because I think he summarizes it in a really key way, and this is a brand new interview that you guys might not have seen before.
I said that Ripple and XRP holders got lucky by drawing these two judges. Judge Netburn is a federal magistrate judge. She assists the regular judge, which is Judge Torres, and she handles the discovery disputes. Whether documents are privileged or not privileged, whether they should be turned over or not turned over. She handles all the little disputes that go on in discovery. The Hinman deposition, they moved to quash it, she ordered, no, it can go forward, things of that nature. When all of discovery is over, then the Judge Torres, takes over the case as it proceeds to dispositive motions for summary judgment, motion for declaratory judgment, the motion to dismiss, the motion to strike the fair notice defense. And so those are the two roles of the individual judges, and they've been outstanding. And I mean that. Would I have liked to seen certain documents, the privilege be overruled? Sure. But there was case law for the judge to follow where her decisions, Judge Netburn's decisions, have been very sound. They've been very based on the law. The law favors the SEC in many ways. It favors the SEC when it comes to privilege, right? And things of that nature. But that decision on the Hinman speech, a lot of people are confused about that. All she did was accept Hinman's affidavit and accept that the SEC said it's his personal opinion. Had she not accepted it and said it was official SEC statements, she would have never ruled that those documents and the emails be turned over. So all she said is, okay, you signed an affidavit, said it's your personal opinion, fine. If it's your personal opinion, now turn over the emails to Ripple, right? And so that's a great decision. It doesn't mean that Ripple and XRP holders can't use the speech as guidance. We still can argue that. Ripple can still say, hey, XRP Ledger is more decentralized than the Ethereum network. If Ethereum network wasn't a security because of what Bill Hinman said in 2018, then neither are we. We weren't given fair notice. It still can be argued. And just recently today, Judge Torres ruled against Ripple that they couldn't seal certain documents. And a lot of people took that as, oh, it's negative because it ruled against Ripple. No, that I tweeted out, this is a huge good sign that the judge said that she wants these to be disclosed. That means she favors public disclosure. What that means is we have a shot now of her saying, no, I want things, the public has a right to know. And if we have a right to know what Ripple was told by their lawyers in 2012, and we get to read those legal memos, then we should get to read those emails from the SEC. And so
there is two very distinct and clear things we need to analyze here. And I would just go back and watch back that section of the video, because what Deaton says there is critical. First of all, he compliments the judges on doing an amazing job thus far. And what he really breaks down here is the fact that the judge actually didn't make any kind of binding ruling saying that the speech given by William Hinman, although the SEC claimed it's his personal opinion, the court is saying, and John Deaton just explained this, that even though they said that, Ripple can still say that it was SEC guidance to the market, even if it's his personal opinion. So why did Judge Netburn rule that it was his personal opinion? Because she knew that if she said this was a very good way to force the SEC to fork over the Ethereum documents. She very easily could have ruled in a way that did not force the SEC to hand over the ETH documents. It is also extremely clear that the SEC does not want to hand over these ETH documents at all. They know there is a lot of bad things buried in these documents, and they are showing in this case that they are willing to do anything not to hand over these documents. As a quick recap, we know that Judge Netburn made this ruling in a way that not only can Ripple go back and argue, hey, the way you described these rules to the market was super confusing. You made everyone think it was SEC guidance, and now you're coming back and saying it's your personal opinion. This doesn't make a lot of sense and does not lead to a market that needs clarity getting clarity. So what Judge Netburn said is, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. And so what I'm going to rule is I'm going to say this was Hinman's personal opinion. So the SEC has to fork over these documents to you, but I'm not going to cut that off and say, well, what Hinman did was only his personal opinion. It is obvious that he was trying to guide the market right here. So Ripple, you can have these documents, and then you can go off and also argue that he was guiding the market. And this shows us that Judge Netburn is doing everything she can to try to give Ripple the firepower they need to win this case without making it so the SEC gets completely disrespected, because whether we like to believe it or not, the SEC has a lot of power, and no one wants to be the person who gets the SEC on their bad side. Let's keep moving though, and after this we're going to get into the diagram, and you guys need to see that because that is going to make this super simple, and I think is a really cool way to describe all of this. I said the SEC just tossed out their last chance of having any credibility. What was it? They could have deemed the ETH free pass speech as SEC guided, which it was, prove an inherent difference between ETH and XRP. They didn't because they know ETH is not a security, XRP is also not a security. The SEC, the only hope they had of restoring any credibility at their agency was to describe an inherent difference between ETH and XRP and say, look guys, this is the reason we said this, ETH has these properties, XRP has these, and that's why ETH is not a security and XRP is. They wouldn't dare to do that because there is no difference and they know it, and that's what makes this whole lawsuit such a joke. And I just wanted to show you guys this because this is really where we are right now. The SEC started and they had the option to argue that the Ethereum free pass speech was Bill Hinman's personal opinion or SEC guided. They chose to say it was his personal opinion because if it was SEC guided, just like we talked about on the previous slide, they would have to describe an inherent difference between ETH and XRP. They could not do this because there is no inherent difference except for the fact that XRP is actually less of a security than Ethereum is. So what did they try to do? They tried to say it was just his personal opinion. Well, the problem with that is then they have to hand over the Ethereum docs because it's not protected by DPP. So what is the SEC trying to do now? Because they know if they hand over those Ethereum docs, it also ends in a loss. So the SEC was stuck in a catch-22. No matter what, their argument is wrong because everything they have done in this lawsuit has been so flawed that they really don't have a lot of avenues to escape other than to let delay. So what the SEC is now trying to do, and it's this line with a question mark in the middle, is they're trying to say it was Hinman's personal opinion, but how can we then twist this argument after the fact so we don't have to hand over the ETH docs? And then maybe we can delay this case a little longer and maybe hopefully find another piece of evidence that makes it so we could push it off a little longer. This is essentially where the SEC is right now. And I think what we're watching is the court just saying, all right, you can have another month, but you're not making your case any more clear. We're over a year into this lawsuit and you're still yet to put out a valid explanation on why ETH is not a security and XRP is. And no matter how long the SEC keeps trying to push this off, their evidence isn't getting any better, and that's what me and you need to understand.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.